Hey guys, what is going on? So welcome back to the channel for yet another OCG metagame discussion. So I'm hoping to make this a weekly thing. I really love bringing you guys the details and the updates from the OCG. I find it really interesting how we can take their ideas and implement it in the TCG here. And I hope you guys like it too. So if you are new to the channel, be free to subscribe, like the video and leave a comment. And so in front of you we have a pie chart of the up-to-date uh, details from roadtotheking.com. So their Yu-Gi-Oh website particularly brings us details from the OCG. And so I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check them out. So we've got a pie chart. Obviously Dragon Link's still doing really well. Salamangreat Great popping up, which is is expected. We have Sky Striker, more Thunder Dragon, Altergeist, and a big mix of other decks really. So I've got the details of the other pie in front of me right now. So altogether for decks that have been topping in OCG tournaments between the last week or so include one Trickstar, one Moonlight, one Hero, one Gizmek Orochi Turbo, which is interesting, two Subterra, two Endymion, two Burning Abyss, three Zephyr, three Rocket, three Orcust, three Magician, which I presume is Pendulum Magician, four Ottergeist, six Thunder Dragon, eight Salamangreat, eight Sky Striker, and 22 Dragon Link. So this pie chart and all these details are a big mixture of tournaments that have been happening with OCG. So I'm going to cover one of those big tournaments right at the end of the video, so make sure you guys stick around and we'll get into our first deck profile. Okay, to start things off, we have a Salamangreat deck profile. So this deck is still around, still doing really well in the OCG. As they have Circlet 3, they still have Gazelle at 1, which is of course a hit to the deck. However, the deck can still perform really well. We see main deck choices like Imperial Order to out the Sky Striker threat. That one of just comes up and it's such a good card against Sky Striker. It's a complete blowout. Me, but personally playing Sky Striker myself, if someone flips out that Imperial Order and you haven't got a Twin Twister or a MSD in hand, you're in for pretty much going to scoop your cards up, to be honest. So we have the main deck options like this to adapt to the format. We see a big mixture of hand traps, of course, with notably in the extra deck, the boss monster being Bomber Dragon. So Top Logic Bomber Dragon is, seen a lot of play at the moment due to its blowout ability to just nuke the board. And, Salamangreat can really take advantage of this card. If they turbo out into a Link 4, which they can make easily, and nuking opponent's tie board is really effective. And this card is really slept on at the moment. And, I think TCG and OCG have caught onto this card, which is good to see, which is different. The both formats don't really catch onto single cards like this often, and I feel like it's a great card in Salamangreat. So really standard, and we'll get straight on to the next step profile. Okay, so next deck list, and if you've been living under a rock for last year, it's basically Sky Striker has been a phenomenal choice for competitive players. It is incredibly consistent and a really good control deck. Even after multiple hits here in the OCG, it still is performing very well and taking up a big slot of that pie chart. It's such a good, strong control deck that can use floodgates, like they can be only one, hand traps, and just generic negates being Widow Anchor, generic monster removal, back row removal, good draw cards. Interesting enough, this list has 3 desires. So I know desires is currently being debated amongst Sky Striker players is whether a card to be used or not, as banishing your one-ofs, your key one-ofs, can really hurt the deck. I've for playtesting myself, I've activated the pot desires and I've banished on my Ray, which at that point I just picked my cards up and just scooped, because you cannot win the match without Ray, and it is that risk of you banishing something vital. However, the instant draw 2 can just really get you to hand going. It's another starter card. Personally, in my opinion, I would play card of Demise over Desires, just because I hate Desires that much. It is literally, I've got the worst luck of it ever. However, if you feel like you're benefiting from it, I would play it. So yeah, a lot of hand traps, generic negation, generic control. Sky Striker is undoubtedly one of the best decks over the last year, and we've got a ban list coming up in October in the TCG, and I expect the deck to die, but pretty much because it has been too long, running rampant in formats, and it has to go in my opinion. But this is the deck list. So really good generic spells, draw cards, super consistent, and still doing really well after numerous hits. So I'm not going to dwell on this deck too much. I'm sure you guys already know what it does and how it works. And so I'm going to get straight on to the next deck profile. Okay, so next is Dragon Link, and you guys are probably sick of the deck, as am I. However, I wanted to show this deck due to its little rocket engine it's got going with the Synchron and the Tracer. Also using cards like Gammas. Like Gammas is such a strong card. If your opponent tries to negate one of your activate a hand trap during your turn, and you can activate Gamma and basically just go off from there. I know this player does not play the Lord Omega, however, Omega can be a really strong card to rip a card out of your opponent's hand and to let you know what deck they are playing. So there is always that idea, and I want to showcase some its deck profile just for the sake of it, and the fact that they have Striker Dragon, which is the Link 1 dragon in the OCG, makes this deck a lot stronger, and I feel like as soon as we get that card here in the TCG, this deck will be a lot stronger than what it is. So that's Dragon Link. Not going to talk about it too much. Just going to simply showcase a sample for you guys. So next is we're going to talk about one of the tournaments that happened in the OCG. So stay tuned. Okay, so next we're going to be talking about the OCG start of the sort of regional season in all aspects to what we have in the TCG. But for this individual tournament, it is called the Yu-Gi-Oh! Battle City Vietnam. So it is a big tournament in Vietnam, which took place, I believe, on the weekend. And on their Facebook source, I can just make out from the language barrier, the top 8 consisted of 3 Salamangreat, 1 Endymion, 1 Gren Marju, 1 Sky Striker, 1 Pendulum Magician, and 1 Pure Thunder Dragon. And I can confirm that the winner of the entire tournament was an Endymion deck profile, which is fantastic. And also I can see from some of the comments below that Thunder Dragon, the Pure Thunder Dragon player went 6-0 in the Swiss round, so that deck is still doing really well, even with the Colossus. And I find this stuff really interesting to see how the tournament's getting on in the OCG, and the fact that they're sharing updates with us, and we get to see what exactly is going on, take some ideas from the deck profiles. So I'm going to show you the first place deck profile from this tournament, and it was an Endymion deck profile. So I'm going to get straight onto this. Okay, so this is the deck that got first place at this tournament, and it is basically a mixture between the Endymions and the Amorphages, and interestingly enough, there is no Guard Dragons. So Darkworm is at 1 in the OCG, and I feel that they're just going that full-on Pendulum route, and the deck can still throw out negates, and we can see next deck Appaloosa's being played, and in the side deck Vanity's Fiend, which is really interesting. The card's in a crazy floodgate that can be used. Denko Sekka obviously in the side deck as well, along with Red Reboots, which do not forget your Red Reboots, because Ozgeist is still a deck, and just to warn you guys, Red Reboot is a blowout against that deck. And so main deck in hand traps with 2 Ash. So this is a really consistent build. I will be testing this out myself just to see how I get on with it, and so shout out to this guy for winning. Really cool deck. And that is going to wrap it up for today's video. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the content. So subscribe if you're new, like the video if you want to see more, and follow my Twitter. I'll leave a link in the description below, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Goodbye.